Good evening, friends. Welcome to our Sunday evening meditation with Quantum Life University. My name is Mala Raja, and I am today speaking on my most favorite teacher, author, Sandra Ingerman. And the book that I want to talk about and share my views on is Medicine of the Earth and how to transform personal and environmental toxins. Am I audible? Can you hear me well? Can you all hear me?
Yes, ma'am, it's good.
So today we are talking about Sandra Ingerman and her book, Medicine of the Earth. It's not a shamanic book, but yet has a lot of principles from shamanism. Sandra Ingerman is a shamanic teacher and has been practicing shamanism for over 40 years. And she has written many, many books on shamanism, and her passion for and her love for earth and nature has driven her to write this magical, miraculous book, Medicine of the Earth, where she has shared tools on how we can make our life free from toxins, personal and environmental toxins. So, as we all know, that in shamanism, we all in shamanism we connect with everything that is uh, the the whole life that we live is connected to everything that is there in nature and everything that is the web of life. We are interwoven and interconnected. So in this interwoven interconnected life, we are influencing every dot, and we are being inspired and influenced by everything that's happening around us. Her one very beautiful quote always I always kind of get inspired by is that when we grow from within, when we kind of grow from our inner landscapes, our outer landscapes begins to get smaller. The outer world becomes smaller, and we kind of become one with that larger universe that we feel separated from. In this book, what she is talking about is a lot of tools that we need to work on. It's a lot of practical work that she has given. It's just not a theory, or it's just not a, an idea that she is sharing. It is a lot of her personal work that she has done with her own self, and that she has been doing over the 40 years, the practices. So she has been so humble and so compassionate that she has actually shared every tool with us. In this book, she has shared all the tools that we need to improve our lifetime in on the planet Earth, and also by being healthy, we can also make the planet, the Earth, more toxin free. She says that adventure of uh, hunt, the adventure that we need in our life are in the hidden treasures that are there in this book. The magic of transformation comes from learning to love our own self. She has given us a beautiful tool of transfiguration. So she has spoken at a length about what transfiguration is and how a simple method of transfiguration can help each one of us to overcome the toxins that we feel or we have, we kind of deal with the challenges that we deal with in our daily life. It just helps us to improve onto our frequencies in the energy that we carry in our day-to-day life. And she has also given us the tools to how to reach those goals. So we we just need to be aware of what's that we really want. What is it that we are really looking for? And what is it that we really want to be? The magic of transmutation that comes from learning is only within us. So the transfiguration that she is talking about at a great length is just about connecting to the light that we are. As we all know that we all are energy beings, and we are all coming from that source, that divine guidance. And if we just remember that, what has happened over the years is that we have forgotten. We have forgotten where we have come from and who we are. When we just remember who we really are, and we are able to connect to that light, we are able to heal our own self, and we are able to heal by our presence to the people who are around us. The beautiful concept of transfiguration, which is being the light. So here she is not talking about that you have to send light. This is a different thought process. It's not that we are sending the light, it is we are being the light. So the difference is just in our beingness, in realizing or knowing that we are being that light that we already are. The whole process is just imagining that we are that light. And when you are already that light, when you are already that perfect self, the chances of you to transmute that pain, that suffering that you have is into uh, wellness or health. So if we are, what she's speaking about is that if there is a disease, and if you think that you are only focusing on talking that the person is ill, or that person is ill, that person has a disease, we are only focusing on the disease and we are allowing that to expand. But when we are focusing on that divine light that the person is, then we are able to allow that person to find their healing, which is right within us. Sorry, I just thought maybe I got disconnected, uh, or maybe I'm not audible. I hope you can hear me.
Yes, ma'am, I can able to hear.
Yeah. So we continue. So she has given us this beautiful few principles for transfiguration. Going ahead with transfiguration, it is not a shamanic practice. It is not a practice that only people who are practicing shamanism can do it. Anybody, even children, adults, old people, anybody can follow and do transfiguration. Transfiguration is not committed or just for those who practice spirituality. Anybody can practice transfiguration. Here we only connect to our own light, and we feel this light reaching out to everything that is created in front of us or is with us. So this light kind of brings out that healing within us. So what she does is that she forms these circles. In shamanism, we have these circles. In the circles, we form a circle and we do the transfiguration where we each one of us connect to that light within us. And she has experimented it with people where they put either food or a diseased or ill person or any plant in the center of the circle. And in the circle, when all the whole group is doing transfiguration and seeing their own light and is seeing the light of that person who is not feeling well, or that plant or that food which is supposed to be not good or is supposed to be poisonous, the research says that it is healed and it has gone into the higher frequency, which where the person or the plant is feeling absolutely healthy. So she has done a lot of experiments on this. It is not same as where we send light. So this is different from sending light. When you are sending light, it is different, but when you're seeing that person in their own light, it's different. So here, another thing that comes is that in shamanism, whenever you are offering a healing, you need permission. A shaman can never do healing without the permission. But here, when you are doing transfiguration, you don't have to ask for any permission because you are not sending any healing. You are just looking at that person in their complete light and love. So if you're looking at a person in complete perfection, in complete light and love, then there is no question of asking or taking any permission. And when you do this, you can actually heal your nature, you can heal people around you, and you can also heal your own self. And instead of saying that you can heal, you can overcome all the challenges that you are facing. I happen to connect with this in this uh, concept of transfiguration. I got a chance to connect with her and I learned from her. And in her book, Medicine of the Earth, where she speaks so extensively about how we can, in our own light, heal our own self and we can heal the Mother Earth. The most beautiful part that is mentioned in the book is that you can actually connect uh, to the divine Mother Earth, and the Mother Earth is also willing to heal us. We at times feel this pressure that we have to heal our Mother Earth and we have damaged the Mother Earth. But if we seek guidance from our uh, masters, from our these allies, from our guiding spirits, from our guardian angels like trees, birds, animals, from the nature, they are all willing to come forward and help us heal our own selves. So, if we are connecting with the land, if we connect to the land and we seek guidance, the land is equally wanting to heal each one of us. So she has mentioned there are seven principles for transfiguration. What are those seven things that are important when the transfiguration works, where we connect to that light and that light is able to heal us? Because anything that is light is absolutely perfect and whole and complete. So the first thing that she speaks about is union. So when there is a separation and when there is a division, when you say that this person is different and I am different, this country is different and I am different, when there is so much of division, there is always disharmony, and there is always a disease that can kind of comes up. So for us, we have to have a union. So she speaks about in olden scriptures, in all possible sects, like in Hinduism or in Christianity or Buddhism or in any other practices, the masters, the sages, if you see, they had a light around them, and that is what has happened. That they always could heal us because they came as a light. And when there is a union of the light with that which is also light, it kinds of brings healing. So the first principle is union. Then is love. We all know about unconditional love. So love is the second most important thing, is that we have to have that unconditional love. We have to have that unconditional faith and trust in what we are doing. So second is love. Third is focus. If there is no focus, we are not able to achieve what we want. So the third thing is that we must have that required focus that's needed for it to come to us. Fourth and very important thing is intent. We have to have an intent. In shamanism, intent is all that is. It is from the intent that we can get whatever we want. So the fourth thing is intent. Fifth is concentration. If we are not having a concentration, if we are studying and while studying we look here and there, the concentration doesn't come and we are not able to perform. For everything, we need concentration. We need to give our 200% to what we want. So, sixth thing is um, imagination. What comes in uh, imagination is that everything comes from imagination. We have to imagine what is it that I really want, what is it that I uh, uh, need it to be, how does it look. So imagination is very important. And then there is harmony. For everything in nature, there has to be harmony. It cannot be disharmony or it cannot be imbalance. Only when there is harmony, only when there is love, only when there is union, there is focus, there is imagination, and there is this strong intent, that we are able to reach to that point of transfiguration. And what happens? That it transmutes that suffering to healing, it transmutes to love, it transmutes to our frequency that kind of gets risen. So as I speak to you, I want you to just breathe into this, take a moment and breathe into all these seven principles that I've spoken about: an intent, the love, harmony, union, focus, concentration, and imagination. So, when you have all these principles in place, it's very easy to move into this space of transfiguration where you can be that light, you can be that divine presence that can heal our physical, mental, emotional selves. But what she also came up with was that it's not so easy. As we move through day to day life, and when we do our daily routine, we get triggered. And this is a challenge that we all have, and we all get triggered. We get triggered by situations, we get triggered by people, we get triggered by our body, we get triggered by, because there's so much of distraction. So how do we overcome that triggers? And she has given in books a lot of examples of how we can overcome these triggers. And last couple of years since I have been able to connect to this and I've been following it, I've realized that it really works. She swears by it that it has worked for her all her life. And I have been living this book, and I have, it's very close to my heart, her practice and this wisdom that she shared with us. And I've realized that it really works. So one of the things that happens is that we are constantly sending out hate into the world. We are constantly resentful. We are constantly angry. We are constantly upset. We are constantly complaining. So if we are constantly upset, angry, and complaining, how do we overcome these situations, and how do we connect to that light? How do we have that union? So for that, we all know that we have to be aware. We have to connect to our breathing. We all know because we all are meditators and we've been meditating. But those who do not meditate, those who are not aware, breathing is a very good technique. We can be in with our breath and we can become aware. But when you're angry, when you are upset, and when you are full of frustration, at that time, to come back to your breath comes very difficult. But we can always try. So, how do we do that? We can take a pause and we can breathe, and we can tell ourselves that I am not this anger, I am not my frustration, I am not this emotion, I am not this body. So, one of the things that we can do is we can just breathe in, take a pause, and tell ourselves, remind ourselves that this pain, and this is something which is also spoken by Eckhart Tolle in his book Power of Now, where he says that you just become aware, and you become aware of that presence, where you realize that it is not you, the anger is not you. Similarly, in this also she has mentioned that you can follow this technique or practice whenever you're getting triggered by the outside. You can go within, breathe in, and become aware, and tell yourself that I am not this anger. What also happens that when we are sending out this hatred, this anger, it is harming us, but it is also harming everything and everyone we love, because it takes a circle of all the people and all the things that we love, and it comes back to us. So we are creating a huge cycle of anger and hatred, and that is why it is circulating all around us, and the world is becoming more hateful, more resentful, more angry. That is why we are seeing this in our younger generation also, that there is so much of anger and hatred that's going around, because we are sending out those uh, emotions out. We are not dealing with them right now, and we are not holding them, and we are not transmuting them. We have to learn to transmute that energy into awareness, into love, into joy. Another way we can overcome these triggers is water is a beautiful element, and it is cleanse us, it heals us. So if we go to a wash basin and clean our hands, and we just make an intent that whatever I am feeling angry about, and I'm kind of transmuting into awareness, into love, and I'm letting it go into the water. All these practices are a matter of practice. We may ask, how is it possible? How can you do that? How is it possible? But it is possible because we have to give it a try. We have to do the practice so that over the period of time we realize it does work. A lot of times, what we also can do is rattle, because rattle can you kind of takes you off your thoughts from that negative thinking, and it breaks the sound, the music, it just kind of takes it away from you. So we can also choose to rattle, drum, and we can sing. Singing is also a great way of transmuting and transforming the energy. We can sing the song. My most favorite song that I've learned from Sandra is singing the song. Whenever you are being triggered, you can sing the song, and I can teach you that song today, and that is fire, fire, rising higher, fire, fire, transforming me. Fire, fire, rising higher, fire, fire, transforming me. So I find myself doing this a lot of time whenever I too get angry, I too get upset, and I also go back into my human form where I kind of feel this um, point comes to me, and I kind of rattle and sing. Um, Sandra speaks about other ways and methods also. One of them is you can have small write-ups around, like she shared that while she drives, she gets triggered and she gets very mad because people driving ahead of us or who are around, she gets triggered by that. So she has something in her car that you are being loved, that you are joy, you are uh, peace. uh, these kind of small postcards you can write and keep around your work tables, in your cars, in your house. Even in my house, I have it all over. Kitchen is the place where I keep this uh, postcard written, giggle, laugh, smile, love. So it reminds you that you are not that anger, you're not that uh, pain that you're feeling. We can transform the energy that we are feeling when we come to that awareness, when we are having this strong intent that you want to transform, you want to shift this energy of hate into love. And for that, we have to constantly keep working on it. We have to constantly keep trying. So having these kind of small write-ups or small postcards around your house, in your clinic, in your workplace, in your car, or anywhere you feel you want to be reminded that you are that joy, you are that love, you are that beautiful light, uh, and know that we are all being held in the loving arms of this beautiful universe. So these are few of the things. One of the other things that she also shared is we could, when we are angry with the person, or we are angry with somebody, or we are sending out hate, we can imagine that person as whom we love. Like you can have a face of the person you love. So if you have a person of your guru, then you will never have the whole anger will get transformed into love, because how can you ever be angry with your teacher or your guru or your master? So that is something very beautiful. And a lot of people, they also do it with their power animals, because when you love your power animals like a bear or a beautiful little monkey or an elephant, how can you send hate to them? How can you ever be mean to them? And just as we talk about this, how can we send out hate and love? Sorry, excuse me. How can we send out hatred and anger when we know that our doing so is going to bring so much pain to them? So, this is one thought that we need to ponder on, that when we are giving out hatred, anger, or any kind of resentment out, how much are we harming our own self? Because we are all interconnected. We are we are that oneness. That how can we harm our own self? So we need to increase our dose of self-love. What she speaks about is, if we love ourselves immensely and greatly, we will be able to love our universe, our world, everything that is around us even more. So, if we have to release the toxins from the universe, we have to somewhere love our own self even more. We need to connect with our inner landscapes, and we need to take guidance. We are getting so much of guidance. So, in the COVID times, I used to feel that there is so much of message that's coming to us about connecting with the nature. We have always been told by all the guides, all the teachers, that we must connect with nature. And I realized that even more during COVID, that how connecting with nature is always so healing. Dr. Newton always mentions that instantly, if we have to kind of come up from a place of sadness to awareness, if we connect with nature, we'll instantly feel happy. We always feel instantly happy if we look at the child face. A little child will always bring joy to our faces. So, even connecting with nature, whenever we connect to nature, we always feel good. So every time we want to go for a vacation, it's always to natural places. It's always into the mountains or into the rivers or to the oceans that we go and connect, and we feel so rejuvenated and re-energized. So as I was sharing, that during the times I have been getting this feeling that I need to connect with nature. And I happened to connect with Sandra Engerman and her book, Medicine of the Earth. Uh, I realized that she validated all my thoughts. How connecting with nature can connect you to your inner landscapes. We all are made from those five elements, right? You agree that we all are made from that five elements. So if we are made from that five elements, that means those five elements are also so powerful, but we have never thought them as an ally to us. We have never thought of them as our guides. We have just thought, "Okay, it's water. Oh, it's just a land. Oh, it's just air. Oh, it's just fire." But it's such a strong guiding factor to us. If you connect to the spirit of the fire, if you connect to the spirit of the water, and if you connect to the spirit of the land, you connect to the spirit of air, the space, and we have so much guidance coming to us. And when we do that, we find there's so much healing that's coming to us because we all are made from that five elements. And when we decide and when we choose to make them as our guiding force or the spirit guides, uh, we are getting so much healing, so many messages. We are receiving that magic that has been there because earth has been there for eons and eons. The the earth has so much to offer us. In shamanism, mostly people think that when you do journey, you go to the upper world, connect to the spirit, the guiding spirits, all the gods and goddesses and the angels, and you connect with all these power animals. But the Mother Earth is also so magical. There are so many landscapes that you can visit and you can find your power and your healing, but we have never been guided. And that is why I'm more attracted to this whole concept of uh, this book of healing with the medicine of the earth, because it has all those elements that are there which we can use on our day to day basis. It's just not a book. It's like a experiential encyclopedia that's been given to us from by her 40 years of work that she's done, and how it's manifesting itself, how you can create magic by using these simple tools. One of the things that we always miss out on is that if we feel that it is so simple, we feel no, it won't work. But what works is always simple. A simple dal chawal works. A simple clothing works. A simple heart always wins. And I always felt that this guidance was coming was more powerful than any of the learning or teaching. So as I moved ahead and I realized that we could connect with these five elements, I have learned how to connect with all the five elements. And I have been blessed because there is so much guidance, so much healing that comes when you're connecting with these five elements and the sun. The most misunderstood is sun. We always feel the sunrise and sunset is like so beautiful and that's about it. But it's beyond the beauty. It's so powerful. It's so magical that when you're connecting with the sun, the moons, and the stars, you are actually seeking healing. And that is what is mentioned in the book, that you can actually seek all the guidance that you want from everything that you are living with, the beautiful trees, the birds, and the flowers. They all are our friends who are wanting to help us, but we have never gone up to them and we have never seek guidance from them. They have so many messages that they want to give us, but we don't look at that message that's coming to us. We are looking for something big, we are looking for something different. And I feel that we must read this book, because I'm not going to share anything more than this, because I want you all to read this book and practice this book and realize that it is so simple to follow this path of healing our own self. And by healing our own self, we can heal everything that's around us. The most magical thing that can happen is when you start believing and when you start practicing. What she also speaks about is lack of commitment, the lack of practice. So when I stepped into shamanism, my teacher, Gurpreet Singh, always mentioned practice, 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 practice. And as we were growing up, our teachers always said, go home, practice. Mothers, fathers, they always said, practice, practice. But we never took it seriously. We said, kaun karega? Let it be. But we want result. We want quick fixes. We want that everything should just kind of happen instantly. We want fast food. We want quick stuff. But we need to work hard. We need to work. We need to practice. And practicing is the most way of achieving it. A lot of, a lot of, even I, when I started this practices, when I stepped into spirituality almost 18, 20 years back, I used to jump from one workshop to another, wanting to learn, wanting to know. And eventually I realized that I know almost everything, but why is it that I am not able to uh, overcome this need to even know more? Yes, we have to keep learning. Even today, I am learning. Like me, there are so many teachers who mention that they are still learning. But whatever we have learned, are we practicing enough? That question we need to ask ourselves. So just put your hands on your heart and ask, am I practicing enough? And be honest to yourself. Be honest to yourself that are you practicing enough what you have learned? Are we doing it really? Whatever I have learned, am I giving time to it every day? How much am I doing it? And then we say, it doesn't work. Oh, I tried it. How many days you tried? Oh, I did it for some time, but it doesn't show any result. I did it for week, 10 days. Oh, I did it for 1 month. I did it for 40 days, but it didn't work. Why it did not work? Because you gave up on the practice. The the anything you do, any spiritual practice you do, you must have the courage to do it every day. And one day you will realize that that practice has taken you to that point. And when you look back, you will realize, oh my God, I was where I was and where have I reached? You have overcome so many situations. You have overcome so many hearts, so much of emotional pain that you have suffered, and you have come to become such a strong person. So I would request and I would invite you all to make a practice, whatever it is. They say that when you practice anything, you master it. So if you practice every day complaints, you become a master in complaining. If you are constantly only criticizing, you are a master of criticism. Just when you enter, people say, now she start again. She'll criticize, she will find faults in everything. But if you're a master of your breath, you will be a Buddha. If you are a practitioner of just sharing love, then you will become love. What is your intent? What is it that you want to become? I would, even Sandra mentions that you should have a journal for yourself. And I also recommend that you must have an intent. You must have a journal to know what is it that you really want. And what would you do to uh, want that thing? How much would you give to need that thing? If I have an intent of having something, if I have a goal, then what am I going to do on a daily basis to reach that point? Am I ready to give my 100%? Am I ready to give my that 200% on a daily basis? And if I am going to do it, when I look back, I will not fail myself because I have learned to be impeccable with my words, because I have been true to myself. I am honoring myself. I am committed to myself. A very beautiful example that she gives is that if there is a bulb and that bulb has to create a light, and for that bulb to constantly give light, there has to be a supply, right? There has to be a constant supply of electricity. What if that electricity goes and comes? Goes and comes. Will that have that constant? So we are like that. We sometimes do it, we sometimes don't do it. But then we say, oh, kuch nahi fayda hua. No fayda. We are only looking at fayda. We are not looking at commitment. When you are committed, you create choices. You have a choice. Do you choose to be committed, creating balance, or you want to create imbalance, disharmony, no focus? So the 7 points that I had given: intent, harmony, union, focus, concentration, love, imagination. If we do that on a regular basis, on a daily basis, if we look at ourselves as that beautiful light that we are, when we only see love, when we overcome our triggers by whatever works for you, then we will create a different frequency for ourselves. We will create a different dimension to work on. Then we have created a different world that we are looking for. And we are creating that world even outside us. So the mirror that is showing outside us is within us. And what is within us is showing outside us. As within, so is without. So we have to constantly check on ourselves, what is it that's going outside me, so that we know we can be true to ourselves, that this is something that I need to correct in within me. And if I'm correcting something within me, then my outer world has to grow. My outer landscape has to be more beautiful, more compassionate, more caring. Before you share that hate outside you, just pause. That am I sending that hate to others, or am I sending that hate to myself? Because we are talking about oneness. We are talking about that whatever is affecting outside is affecting within us. So we have to be very, very conscious. For our consciousness to rise, we have to become conscious. Am I conscious of what I am acting out from? Am I acting out from fear or love? If I'm constantly acting out of fear, that means I need to increase my practice. That means I am lacking in my practice. And I have been so grateful to Sandra for her work, because I have been practicing shamanism for so many years, and having to connect with her had been the greatest blessing for me, because such simple wisdom and so much love and so much compassion that comes with her when you do these practices is so wonderful. And I would request each one of you listening today to please read her books, and please, whatever you can do, but also have a practice for yourself. What are you practicing every day? How much are you reflecting after the day gets over in the night? Are we reflecting how could have been this day better than this. What could have I added more? How much love should have I added? How much compassion could have I added? What could have I added more to make it more wonderful? How could have I been to the service to the mankind or to my own self? Was I loving to myself? Was I living a day of 200% with self love? How many times was I harsh on myself? So, having these practices of reflection, of practices of constantly realizing, of connecting with the nature, connecting with all the five elements that we have, connecting with your own divine self will help us to connect to that divine light that we are and the transfiguration that she's teaching. So, today in the meditation, I would be teaching meditation, which is called transfiguration. It's a very simple technique. We can teach this to our children. So, how we do it is that we have to imagine that from our solar plexus, either a sun or a moon or a star or a light is expanding. We have to imagine that there is a light that is moving from our solar plexus, and that light is growing, and we are merging with that light. And as we are merging with the light, we are that beautiful light. And with that light, anything that comes in our presence is also that light. So if you have anybody who's not well, or you have somebody whom you know is having any health issues, or your loved ones who have no health issues, but you are worried for them, like how we as parents are always worried for our children. So we always, whenever we are in that light, we also see our children in that light. So we are creating that light for us and for that them. And one more time, let me say this and clear it out. You do not need permission. If you are seeing yourself and your loved ones in that light, you are not needing any permission. Uh, yes, we can have multiple people in our whoever you want. It's a circle. Whenever you are in that circle of light, you can imagine anybody and everybody whom you want. You can also have your Mother Earth, when if you're feeling like there was this thing in uh, uh, when we had this volcano eruption and fire in Australia, or whenever there is some calamity, wherever it is happening, we can imagine them all in light, and we can send out that love to them. So you are not sending healing, you're not sending love, you are seeing them in their true self. Like how God, when God sees us, they see us in our true light. They never differentiate between us. They only see us as a light. So we have to also see others only in their light. We have to see them as love. So we are going to do this practice today. And this practice you can do with children. If your children are at home and they are not feeling up to it, and you can tell them, because children do transfiguration very well. You can tell them, dance like a star, dance like a moon, and see yourself as a light. And they just do it. And you can experiment it. You can try it with any friends. You can try it with your pets. You can try it with trees. Whoever you want to try, you can experiment it. You can try it. And over the period of time, you will realize that it is such a simple way of practice, that it is really, really wonderful. Anytime you're worried about someone, just see them in their light. So we are going to start with our meditation. And we are going to practice it for 20 minutes. You can do it for 5 to 10 minutes to 20 minutes, and that's about it. You can do it with children. You can tell children to do it just for 2 to 3 minutes to 5 minutes, just to be like a star, and it works wonders. So let's all get together, imagine that we have formed a circle. And what happens is that when we are sitting and we are constantly having verbal communication, the energy kinds of gets little intense, and it gets little uh, um, heavy. So we're going to shake up ourselves. If you have any pen or thing, you can just create some sound so that you are shifting the energy that has got little heavy. Just I'm going to use my rattle, take up some energy, shift it. There was too much talking. Take a deep breath and just let's move the energy. And I'm going to drum a little bit while we sit in the meditation. Imagine we are all sitting in a circle. And as we sit in the circle, we are holding hands in this divine oneness. And in the center of this circle, you can imagine your loved ones, all those who needs love, who needs this healing at this moment. As you breathe in and breathe out, and as you breathe in and breathe out, imagine that in this beautiful circle of love, of oneness, of divine guidance, you are being held in the loving arms of this universe. And as you breathe in and breathe out, imagine either a sun or a moon or a star in your solar plexus. And with each breath, it is expanding. It's only getting bigger. More brighter. Breathing in and breathing out. With every breath, this beautiful ball of light is expanding And you are merging with that light. Every cell of your body, every muscle of your body, every organ of your body is soaked like a sponge. You're breathing into that divine light, that divine love energy that is so beautiful, perfect, whole, and complete. And you can feel that whole circle of light is a big, huge ball of light. And it's reaching out to all those people in the center whom you have placed. They are also just light. This big, huge ball of light extending itself, seeing your loved one in that same light. There is no separation, there is no difference. Seeing each one in their light. Breathing in and breathing out. Just become aware of this light. How do you feel in the presence of this divine light that you are? Breathing in and breathing out. seeing the Mother Earth as a divine light. Seeing her in her perfection. And as you breathe in and breathe out, begin to start coming back. And just when you are beginning to come back, if there is any person, any friend who needs this love and light, and as you begin to start coming back, breathing in and breathing out, I want you to imagine that as you stand in that circle, you feel the strength and support of this divine Mother Earth, who has been your ancestor, who has nurtured and loved and cared. At this point of time, know that in this circle of love, you are always loved and cared for and supported, that you are not alone, breathing in and breathing out. I want you to imagine this huge, big tree that exists in this landscape. Imagine you standing in front of this absolutely amazing, magnificent tree. This tree is your connect. This is the tree of life. And as you stand completely humbled in front of this tree, trees have been our allies. And as you stand in front of this beautiful tree, this tree of life, this wishing tree that our ancients spoken about, and as you breathe in and breathe out, and as you stand under this beautiful tree of life, this wishing tree, the blessing tree, the prayer tree, I want you to go up to the tree, but before you go ahead, ask for the permission. May I step into your energy and step into that energy of love, You can make a wish. You can make prayers and seek for blessings for yourself or for your friends, for your family, for your loved ones. Know that this tree is always there for you. Whenever you want to offer prayers or blessings, seek blessings, or you want to make a wish, you can always come to this tree. And now that you have made a wish, you have seek for blessings and offered your prayers, it's time to start coming back. And as you start coming back, you can feel the beautiful land of Mother Earth beneath your feet. Breathing in and breathing out. Just and breathe out. Start coming back. And as you start coming back, so welcome back. Welcome back to this moment here in the now. Yes, sorry, there's something with my. So welcome back, and we have last 10-15 minutes. Just allow yourself to absorb this energy and take your own time. I hope you all enjoyed today's talk and the session, and I hope that you all take it forward and find your practices and find ways to connect to the five elements, our most precious gifts that has been given to us by nature, and also if we can bring ourselves into that state of gratitude for today, holding QLU and all the team members of QLU, Dr. Newton, Dr. Lakshmi, and all of them for bringing us this moment of sharing together, holding this circle of love. All our masters, guides who are constantly supporting us, guiding us. And with this, thank you. If there are any questions that needs
Thank you, ma'am.
brown color को आपने बचाया. So this is a drum. It's a drum. It's my shamanic drum, and this drum is is my friend, my most beautiful friend. So this you can buy from Amazon if you are inclined. And do we have any questions? Sorry. Okay. The name of the book is Medicine of the Earth by Sandra Ingerman. Medicine of the Earth by Sandra Ingerman. Medicine of the Earth, Monica ji. The name of the book. Thank you so much, everybody, for joining in today. Thank you, everyone, for all your love. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, ma'am. It's a wonderful session. This is Suresh.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
Many learnings in this session, ma'am. Deeply connected on this meditation also.
Yes. This is a very simple meditation. We can do it at any given point of time. And we can do it with children. We can do it with old people who cannot sit for very long. They can just see themselves into the light, and it can do real wonders.
Yeah, normally lives are mechanically we are living. So how we are connecting to universe, moon, sun, stars, we have to gratitude and express our love. That's very wonderful. You are sharing today's.
Yes.
Thank you so much, ma'am.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Thank you, everyone.
Thank you. Thank you, friends. Thank you for joining. Thank you all.
How can we heal ourselves, please? We can heal ourselves by loving ourselves at all times. We can heal ourselves when we connect to all the 5 elements in nature. We can heal ourselves when we connect to the Mother Earth, when we connect to the trees, birds, when we become conscious and aware in times of challenges, when we realize that we are not those challenges, but we are this light, and that we are all loving and compassionate and doing our practices, we can heal ourselves. The only way to heal is practice, 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 and practice, and gratitude. Look at what is good and what is possible. Have a lot of hope. Wake up in the morning. What is it that I look forward to in the day? It's how you will be able to overcome and all the challenges. Do I answer your question on how to heal our own self? Yeah, so that's
Yes,
the
ma'am.
answer for that.
Yes, madam. Perfect. Thank you. Thank you. And I have one more doubt, madam.
Yes,
Uh,
please.
yeah, uh, after coming to the meditation, I have controlled my food eating cravings. But
Yes,
again nowadays, again it started to no problem you can eat, no problem you can eat, like that it is coming inside.
yeah.
Uh, so how can I can control?
So you don't have to control, because when you want to control, you will never succeed by controlling. Just being loving, compassionate to your own self and your body. And every time before you eat, look at that food as light and as as if it's a healing food. So before you start eating, ask yourself, are you eating because you're bored? Are you eating out of boredom? Are you eating out of anger? Are you eating out of hunger? So have a journal next to you and write down. Having a journal, having a book always works, because then you know what is happening to you. So have a journal next to you. Write about what is it that I'm hungry for. Why am I eating? Am I eating out of fear, out of anger, out of boredom? A lot of people eat out of boredom. A lot of time we eat because there is a void that we are feeling. We don't want to deal with that, so we want to stuff ourselves. So you have to spend time to practice what's happening inside you, and look at that food as light. Whenever you're eating, look at that food as light, and make an intent that every time I eat, I'm feeling enough. I am feeling enough for myself, and being aware, being conscious what's happening. Maybe there is some deeper message for you.
Okay,
Does
madam.
that
Thank you.
answer you, Srilata ji?
Yes, yes, madam. Thank you. This journal, I think it will help me. Thank you.
Yes, it will help you. So knowing why you are eating is more important than just eating and wanting to control. What is making you eat? Yes?
Yeah, something like not doing what I want to do, not
Yes, so
success,
bored.
not
Yeah.
success in doing something.
So I would suggest that you do something in the nature, walk in nature, do some watering, planting, do something physical with in nature. It will really help. Connecting with nature,
Yes, madam. Thank
you
you,
will
madam.
find answers. Yes, whenever we connect with nature, we always find answers, because it helps us to go within our own inner landscapes. Thank you so much. Thank you. And keep practicing. Thank you so much.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you,
Thank
friend.
you. Thank you.
Closing the session.